you hear people talk about like the spirituality aspect of it. And I remember before I started my locks, I used to watch those videos and be like, what the hell are these people talking about? It's just hair, it's just locks. Hey baes, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Catherine Alexandra. On today's video, we are going to be talking about building the confidence to start your locks. We're in a little bit of a change of scenery today. I am filming in my living room. If you guys know any Black-owned artists, Black-owned art, definitely link it in the comments below because I need to fill up my walls. My walls are so bare and empty. It's literally the last thing that I need to do to fully have my place furnished and just feeling like home. I'm open to suggestions, but it definitely got to be Black-owned art. So on today's video, like I said, we are going to be talking about building the confidence to start your lock journey. And this is a really important video because a lot of people, including myself prior to starting my journey, we talk about wanting to start our locks. It's something that I talked about for at least like 3 years before I actually did it. And then eventually I was like, you know what, Kat, you keep talking about it, it's time to finally do it. So I want to give you guys some tips and advice on just giving you the courage and the comfortability to start your locks. The first advice that I would give to anyone that is considering starting their locks or wants to start their locks is definitely do your research. Research. Educate yourself on what method it is that you want to start your locks with, the different methods that are out there. There are so many videos on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, in addition to all of my videos, that can really educate you on all the different methods out there. But another thing with educating yourself that is really important, and it's something that I took away from it as well, is that the more you educate yourself on locks, you will realize that there is no such thing as the ugly stage of locks. And I know that is something that a lot of y'all are not expecting to hear. That's not what you want to hear. But when you start educating yourself and researching locks and looking at other people's and their lock journeys and this and the third, you will realize that there is no ugly stage when it comes to locks. And I realized that over time when I started to appreciate the beauty of locks in every stage, from day one to people who have locks for like 10 plus years. Whether your locks are super short or down to your back, I've learned over time that there's a beauty in locks. It's just really amazing to see how locks mature and develop over time. And what I find really cool is that no set of locks are the same. Like, you can have a similar hair texture to somebody else and you guys can start your hair off the same exact method, have like the same number of locks, and your locks will look different. The amount of time that it takes for your locks to actually lock and mature and develop can be different. Every set of locks is just different, and I think that's really beautiful. And it's something that I learned over time just watching other people's and their lock journeys, as I realized like, yo, this is really dope how people's hair develops and thickens over time. Like, people can start off with like very fine, thin looking locks, and then over time it just grows and develops into this beautiful head of thick, luscious locks. Like, I really found that to be such a beautiful thing. And so it took away that fear of me going through the ugly lock stage, because I realized that no, there's nothing ugly about like seeing my locks mature and do what it wants to do and get thick and luscious and juicy over time. Like, that is so dope. So definitely doing your research is very helpful. Just looking at other people's lock journeys, like I said, watching all of the videos and photos that are out there. Definitely educate yourself and research, because it helps a ton. It also prepares you what you can expect throughout the lock journey. I feel like a lot of people watch videos and they see people whose hair is already locked and they've had locks for like 5, 6, 7 years, and they get so hung up on like what's to come that they don't learn to appreciate the process, the starter lock phase, 1 year lock, 2 years lock, because all of those different phases, your hair goes through changes as well. And I feel like people don't really take the time to research and study that part. They kind of just jump ahead. Watch a lot of videos of people in their starter lock journeys. I have a video on my channel. It's like the second video that I uploaded, and it is a full timeline of my 1 year lock journey. So I took you guys from day 1 to day 365, and it is so amazing. Even when I went back and looked at the video, I was like, wow, my locks have developed and matured so much over that 1 year time. Even though I went through some frustrations, I would definitely say some frustrations with my locks in the beginning, but it was only due to the fact of just some of my parts and my locks and my sizes being a little off. But I immediately got those fixed, and once I got them fixed, I was as happy as can be. Don't compare your journeys. Please do not compare your journeys, but use other people's lock journey as inspiration to keep going. The second bit of advice that I would give is definitely get creative. If you are in like your starter lock phase, like your hair is a week or two locked and you're watching this video, get creative with your hairstyles. Locks are so versatile. There's so much you can do. I have a video on my channel already showing you guys some really cute lock hairstyles, and those were styles that I was doing on my hair from the first day that I have locks, and I still do it to this day. And don't feel like you have to hide your locks, especially in the beginning stage. I see a lot of people doing this thing where they're hiding their locks under like protective styles like Marley twists or under wigs. No. Ain't nothing to hide. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to hide. If you're gonna have locks and you're gonna rock it, we're gonna rock it in all states and phases and facets, because it is beautiful in every stage. When I started my locks, literally the first thing I did when I came home is I threw out like all of my wigs. I mean, I didn't have too many wigs. I wasn't really big on wearing wigs, but I had like 2 or 3, and I just threw them right out because I'm like, I cannot see myself ever wearing this thing again. So definitely do not rely on protective styles, especially in the beginning stages. Get creative with your hair. There's a lot that you can do, and again, there's so much information out there on social media that you don't have to feel like you have to hide under protective styles in the beginning stages of your locks. Get creative. So the last bit of advice that I would give is to definitely embrace your natural beauty. A lot of times when people start their lock journeys, you hear people talk about like the spirituality aspect of it. And I remember before I started my locks, I used to watch those videos and be like, what the hell are these people talking about? It's just hair, it's just locks. But there really is a mindset and a mind shift that you have to make in order to be comfortable with wearing locks. And it's something that I experienced as well. As you guys know, I started my locks when I was 29 years old. I turned 30 last year in December, and there was really a lot of like shifting that was going on in my life. And I also kind of just went through like an awakening and an enlightenment within myself, aside from starting my locks, but just where I was and me just thinking about the fact that like, wow, my 20s are coming into an end, I'm entering my 30s. So there was a lot of self-reflection that I did, and it just so happened at the same time, it was also when I started my locks as well. But I realized that you really have to become comfortable with embracing yourself in all aspects. And once I learned to just embrace everything about myself, my hair, my skin, my body, you know, everything, it became so much easier for me to start my locks and also just embrace having my locks and going through the starter lock phase. It felt very, very comfortable for me to do that because I wasn't worried about what everybody else and what society had to think about me and my hair. I was doing it for me, and I was excited. And if anybody has something to say, oh well, people are always gonna have something to say. Whether you out here doing what everybody else does, people are always still gonna find something to say. So it's like, you might as well do what you wanna do and do what makes you happy. Responsibly and safely. I'm not encouraging anybody out there to do anything crazy, but just to say that don't be worried and fixated about what other people are going to think about you and your lock journey. It's your lock journey, it's your hair. You are choosing to just embrace it and what it is that it wants to do on its own anyways, and there's nothing wrong with that. So hopefully this video was helpful to anyone that is out there. I say this at the end of every video, but I really, really do mean it. A big part of my channel and the content that I am putting together is that I want to create a sense of community, and I want for other Black women who look like me to just feel like they can relate to someone else. And if you're considering starting your lock journey, let's talk about it. If you have questions, if you want more advice or more feedback or more lock stills or whatever it is that I can do to help you guys, definitely let me know. I want you guys to feel like we can just talk about things. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn your notifications on, and I will see you in the next video. Beautiful girl, you're standing